What's up, everybody? My name is Crim. I'm the host of this. I'm going to be the host of the gaming podcast and the gaming news podcast. This one is going to be more about gaming news. And if you do not know me or haven't been around, haven't been into Ashen TV yet, I am the leader and the main CEO and founder. One of the founders of Ashen TV. Ashen TV is a bunch of friends who get together. We're just going to make a bunch of content videos revolving around Smite, R6, and a lot of podcasts involving anime and gaming. Now, this on specific one, it's the only one that's going to be just me due to a lot of scheduling issues and a lot of other stuff that I couldn't get the other members into this. So I'm going to be pretty much the host of this one and also the only person that will be on this one and this is the one time only. This will make sure that this doesn't happen because I want everybody else in on this. A lot of them are very talented guys and gals that actually know gaming and they actually are in this esports area. But I just wanted to do some news, and so this one is going to be the Ashen news outlet. That's what this one is more about, and this pretty much, and what we're going to be talking about. And for me, you want to know where my area of expertise is and where I've actually the most focus. It would essentially be Call of Duty and Rainbow Six Siege with a little bit of League of Legends because I do play League of Legends on the side. I do also stream a lot on my own channel, and I do a lot of other stuff for my own channel that I've been creating. And so when the streaming news, there's also going to be streaming news in this as well. So we'll be going over that as well throughout this. Now, let's get into the first news, and I wanted to really talk about Optic being bought back by Hector Rodriguez. As we know, this is this news that came out that Optic was getting bought back by Hector Rodriguez after essentially Immortal Gaming, which is probably one of the stupidest companies out there. They don't understand how to operate things. Was like, oh, we can't keep up with this, which makes sense because hey, you're traders for actually buying that from Hector. I'm an OG Optic fan, so I'm like, it made me really mad when I heard how things went with that, and I was very heartbroken. But I still follow Hector all the way. So I'm a little biased on this, but Optic being bought by Hector is probably the best thing that could happen to the Optic brand, and it's what's going to save it. The actual buying is probably one of the best things that could have happened to Call of Duty because that allows another team to come in, the Optic brand being what it was and what it is, and make it back into a content creating masterpiece. That's what I always saw as Optic. It was content that was beautiful. Competitively, it was also as beautiful. But there was something about the Optic content and that crew that was beyond amazing, and I loved every little bit of it. Hector Rodriguez is probably the best owner in esports right now. He is, I don't think anybody else can really disagree with that. He is on the top pedestal. Pedestal? Did I say that word right? But he is on that top area. So this buying, and I think there's also other details that it has to be fully approved by the league itself, and then and he can't he can't own two teams. He has to sell the Optic placement, which is good because then another team can come in. That gives another opportunity for more players. Personally, what I'm hoping for with this buy is here with me, but I kind of want either G2 to get into this or 100 Thieves. Now, 100 Thieves getting into this, I don't think will happen. I don't think they have the money or they are going to pursue that due to I think they're still a developing company and it's too much of a risk still with them. So, especially with how COVID has gone and everything. The buying for the spot would have to be very interesting. Now, if G2 got into this, as we know, G2 is one of the top esports company, probably one of the top esports organizations right now, alongside NRG, and I think it's Luminos. I don't remember who the third place one was, but those are like they're in the top three for esports orgs. So I'm expecting G2 to probably look at getting into that area when it comes to Call of Duty. So if you see the G2 buying a spot and then making their own team and wherever it's gonna be placed, that wouldn't be very much of a surprise for me. Let's get over to the League Worlds. As we know, the League Worlds 2020 group stages are going on right now. And I do know the standings and the results right now and my opinions on what's going on. As we do know, right now America is getting thrashed. America doesn't have a win. Am I surprised? No. America does not. So right now we got Machi with 1 win, 0 losses. G2 Esports 1 win, 0 losses. Sunning, zero wins, 1 loss. Team Liquid, and this is in Group A. Team Liquid, 0 wins, 1 loss. Not at all surprising me that Machi and G2 are at top. That's kind of just what I was expecting. If we get to Group B, honestly, this group a little bit on my end, and I'm still learning a lot about League, so I'm not the most expert person, but I do have an opinion on certain things. Damwon Gaming, Korea right now is undefeated. All their teams are undefeated, which is not surprising. Those guys grind harder than I think any other team. The Korean teams grind harder than anybody else. I don't know why, but they literally break themselves apart and rebuild everything if there's an issue. Damwon Gaming, 2 wins, 0 losses. Rogue, 1-1. JD Gaming, 1-1. PSG Talon, 0-2. I don't really know much about PSG Talon. I don't know how they are going 0-2 and what happened with them, but I think I don't know, they could probably figure it out. They could probably get themselves together. Seeing like the upcoming games, there's some pretty cool looking ones coming up. It looks like Damwon will be facing Talon soon. It's probably Talon loses that because Damwon is so hard, and it looks like Damwon is probably on top. Now we get to the other one, and honestly, actually, if this was a surprise for me, in Group C, Gen G being 2-0, okay, kind of expected. Fnatic 1-1, LGD Gaming 1-1. I was expecting Team Solo Mid to be a little bit better. They're 0-2. Team Solo Mid's the team I'm actually like really following in this, and it's kind of why I'm getting into League. Team Solo Mid, I don't know why they're 0-2. Why they're trying. I don't know how they're not winning their games or what's going on with them. They need to kind of buckle back, and maybe they'll pull it out at the end, right? They got from it's October 3rd to 11th, right? They got a lot of time. They got a lot of games they can play. TSM can honestly bring it back, but it's going to be a struggle. They've already put themselves in a bad spot. TSM needs to kind of bump themselves up. Honestly, I think LGD was a little more surprised. I thought they would be the 0-2 team in this bracket in the Group C, but TSM being the 0-2, hey, TSM, come on. I'm voting for you guys. Come on, please do it. We get to Group D. Group D is Tops Esports 1-0, Dragon X 1-0. I'm kind of not surprised about Dragon X. Unicorns of Love 0-1. Actually, I don't even know what that team is. FlyQuest, never heard of them, so they're 0-1. Makes sense. These two teams I've never even heard of, and I've been talking to a bunch of my buddies. That's just kind of what's going on. But you see, like all these American teams are just getting clobbered. Like, how are all the American teams just not doing? They're just not pulling it out. They're not like it seems like they're just not showing up almost. And who knows? It's still really early, so we could probably see that completely flip around. As we all know, the League of Legends games are fucking long. A lot of shit can change, and stuff goes on a full like turnaround. That can happen. So expect a lot from League. I'm gonna try and get a little bit better in this and try and understand the teams a little more. Do a little more analytics on the next time that we talk about this, and probably go over the end results of the group stages. But if I had to say anything right now, I can see TSM coming back, maybe making it into the top 2 if they can pull it out. I know that's in a hard stature, but Team Solo Mid, hey, they have a good history. They could possibly pull it out. Machi and G2 probably will stay where they are. They'll probably win that. Damwon Gaming, they'll win. There's no ifs or buts about that. I don't really know between Rogue and JD. Those two teams seem. I bet one of those teams will make it, but I don't know if they can't. If they will, which one would? So we'll see about that. Gen G will make it for sure. And then, I don't know, Fnatic, LGD, and TSM. Those 3 teams, I think any of them can actually make it into the top 2 spot, but it's just going to have to be a grind, especially for TSM right now. They have to pretty much win what they have to win against LGD Gaming. They have to win against Fnatic. Then they got to win against Gen G, which they'll probably lose that. And then they got to... They literally probably are going to go 3-3. If I'm looking at this bracket and how they're going to play. They're going to go 3-3. And... their biggest chance to make it is they beat LGD, right? Gen G is gonna come in here, beat the crap out of Fnatic. So like Group C is the one I'm really been focused on, and I think that they're gonna beat the crap out of Fnatic. Gen G will. TSM will beat LGD if they can collect themselves. Fnatic gets beat by TSM. Like I said, TSM needs to collect themselves and they can beat Fnatic. LGD Gaming against Genji, getting clapped. Genji probably clapping TSM. Fnatic and LGD. I'm going with Fnatic for the win on that one. Fnatic probably just because it's a better. I think it's a more well known name to me, and I have a little more high hopes for Fnatic. LGD don't really know them that well. LGD Game against going TSM. I believe TSM could, if they've gotten themselves put together, they can win. And then Genji versus Fnatic, they'll just stomp on them. I think Genji is just a better team. I don't really know anything about the teams in Group D, so that's not an area that I'm expertise on, and I don't really. Like I said, this is just me giving a little update on what the league worlds, and I'll start learning a little more so then I can be a little bit better at this. Don't worry about that. With certain signings that's been going on in the world, we're going to go to the streaming area of this. And right now, as we all know, XQC got signed by Luminosity. It's a really good deal, which is a little confusing, though, because there's drama going on about Luminosity not paying players or not paying the right amount or something like that. But the fact they're doing super huge signings with stuff people like XQC. I'm surprised XQC just went to Luminosity and didn't pick a different, like a bigger org. Because XQC could pick a bigger org. But I bet for XQC, he picked Luminosity due to the fact that Luminosity will probably give him a lot more freedom what he can say and what he can do. I'm surprised, like, I was expecting, like, XQC to probably try and go for, like, G2 or something. Like, go for, like, TSM, G2, one of these huge fucking organizations that could give him a lot of money, a lot more money. But I think G2 is so much more invested into esports than it is, like, the streamers. If, like, Luminosity is actually invested in streamers, TSM is invested in streamers, 100 Thieves is invested in streamers, you know, there's these orgs that are actually invested in streamers. I think G2 was one of those teams that was not, they were like, whatever, we don't care. Luminosity, good pick, honestly, for XQC. I think he likes just the colors blue. I think that's just him. He likes the color blue, so that's his thing. Now, this is something I'm a little more excited for overall, just me personally. We have the newest tournament that is coming to our Rainbow Six Siege, which is the Rainbow Six Siege World Cup. From this article saying on September 10th, it was announced that Ubisoft will be having a new tournament for competitive Rainbow Six Siege. The R6 World Cup that will see each country's best players clash over a new world champion title. This is a really huge news. It gives a lot of opportunities for a lot of young teams, especially in Rainbow Six Siege, which is probably the fastest growing esport at this moment and has the most potential as an esport in the long run compared to other games. Sorry, Valorant, you're dying a little bit. You need maps, you need a lot of things. Valorant needs to really ramp itself up if you want to actually keep competing. Rainbow Six Siege is right now one of my favorite esports because it is actually fun to watch and they've actually delivered a really good team. So right now there's 45 participating teams around the world. 14 are directly invited to the final stage. Okay, so those are going to be the main. So those are like the main countries, and then there's 31 in qualifiers. I'm very curious with that number 31. It's very interesting to me. The 14 direct invites to the final stage are Australia, Brazil, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Russia, Taiwan, South Korea, Spain, United Kingdom, and United States. Fully understand why these are actually already in there. You know, United States has a lot of main teams. Canada's got a lot of main teams. You know, Brazil's got a lot of stuff. Italy, Germany, France have a lot of stuff. Australia's got a main team. You know, Japan has a main team. Taiwan has a main team. South Korea's got a main team. And these are, I'm curious, are they just going to pick the top team from that area, or are they just going to go with making a team out of just a bunch of random pros that are like the top on those teams? We'll see how they go with this. I hope that they're just going to probably just pick a team, and that's the team that represents their nation. Now, with the 31 countries, and this is where it intrigues me, and who I feel will actually make it. So only 6 teams can make it to. So only 20 teams can make it to the actual final round. Now, in my opinion, none of these, R6 is a very hard game, but I still don't feel. I feel like the only bracket that actually has teams that can match these top 14 teams, right, is the Europe League. I'm sorry, but Europe is a whole nother breed when it comes to playing Rainbow Six Siege. I face a lot of European players. They're a different kind of. They've actually invested a lot more time. They play it a lot better. I faced people in the Asian leagues just to have a little in the Asian scene and Asian scene, American scene, and the South American scene just to kind of try and figure it out. South America's super good, but Europe's the best out of all of them. Europe and America are like the top two when it comes to like actually being an R6 because their teams have a lot more support in my mind, and they actually are really invested into, and they have a really rigorous like training schedule. So I feel it's just going to be kind of a dumb thing to see. Well, it's not going to be dumb, but it's going to be interesting to see how any of these like outlier teams are going to do when they actually hit that finals. Because like Europe has a lot of teams. There's only 2 teams to advance into the final stage, right? You got Australia, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, Hungary, the Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Sweden, Switzerland, and Ukraine. I don't know what team these guys will have. I don't know who they'll have to actually play this. From my knowledge, I have faced people from Belgium, and I got my shit kicked in. Belgium, probably going to be great. Hungary, don't know anything about. Netherlands, don't know anything about. I'm going to go with probably, honestly, though, I would say Belgium and maybe Denmark would actually be those teams that are going to be. Belgium and Denmark will probably be the 2 teams that make it, depending on what team they have. But those are the areas that I faced a lot in. I also faced a lot in the UK, and I got my shit kicked in there anyways. But that's because the UK actually has solid teams. South Asia is only going to have 1 team advance. Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. Bangladesh, I think will get that. That's what I think. I do have a buddy who lives over in Asia, and we played on his servers, and oh my god, it was. I don't want to say it was easy, but it felt really easy for me, even if I had like 185 fucking ping. It was super easy, and I don't really know how they're gonna face up against like these top teams that have like fully invested companies. Southeast Asia has 1 team advancing to the final area: Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand. I have faced people from Indonesia, and they were actually really good. A lot of their tactics were really strong. I think though, what's gonna hinder them is they don't have the mentality of what a lot of these bigger teams have. A lot of the Southeast Asia areas or the Asian areas haven't seen or haven't faced like what a European team does. European teams play a complete different kind of way than like an American team. An American team plays a different way than a South American team. Those areas are very, very competitive. So I think Indonesia, I faced those guys. I faced people from Indonesia. I faced people from the Philippines. They're not bad. I faced people from Thailand. Thailand actually were really good. But I feel like Indonesia will cap this. That was like the hardest place to fight, to actually like have matches in, was face people from Indonesia. Latin America, 1 team advances. Argentina, Chile, Colombia, Peru, Colombia. I think Colombia will have a little more solid team. I think Colombia gets their nation into this bracket. MENA, so Middle Eastern. This is the Middle Eastern bracket pretty much. This will be Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Morocco, and Saudi Arabia. I think Saudi Arabia has a better, probably has a little more of a vested team into. They probably have a lot more rigorous training schedule. Only 1 team gets advanced from this stage. This will be really cool to see. I'm really excited for the world. This is the first time this ever happened, and I think it's going to be a fun game. Honestly, I could see some of these countries going out and buying some of these bigger teams that are like an American something just to play for them. I don't know if that's allowed. I want to see I don't know what the rules are yet. So we'll really see what this going. And it will be held. If anybody's wondering when this will be held, it'll be held in the summer of 2021. It's going to be held on land. That's what they're hoping for. Okay, so the national lineups though will be announced winter 2020. So expect that in 2020 in the wintertime. So probably December. And saying from here, each team will also be limited to a maximum of 2 players from the same organization. So these are mixed teams. These are players from different organizations that they can actually grab. So we'll see where this goes for. Yeah, this will be fun. This will be a fun tournament to see, and I'm glad they announced this, and I'm glad they're doing this. It gives a lot of teams opportunities, it gives a lot of nations opportunities, and a lot of players to show off themselves and see and show how good of a player they actually are. They can get recruited. Now, so that's my take on that. Now, this is old news, okay? But I'm gonna talk about it as a streamer and as a content creator because this is something that we need to avoid having in the community and having going around, and why I don't like drama. I don't like drama content, or in a sense, I don't. Leafy's permanent ban on Twitch. He deserves it. He deserved the ban on YouTube. He deserved the ban on Twitch. Leafy, from my content, from me watching him, and I'm very small, right? I'm not a big content creator. I'm building what I'm building. But I've been around and watching YouTube a lot. I've always hated how Leafy treats people. Leafy does not treat people good. He does stuff to hurt people's feelings, in my mind. He tries to be a horrible person constantly. And that's not how you want to live. Like, you want to be a positive person. Positive people live a better life. And what Leafy does to people, he tries to hurt people. He tries to create drama with other people. He's the same thing like Keemstar, and I don't like Keemstar for that. Like, Keemstar does the same thing. Now, Leafy legit was going around and threatening or like telling people to kill like other streamers or to hurt them. You don't do that. Like, that shows how crappy of a person he is. He thinks it's a joke. That's not something you joke about. And Leafy needed to be banned. I'm glad if he brings his own platform out. I will tell everybody, do not give him that attention. This is something that he needs to not be a content creator. He needs to not be an influencer because he is not a good person, and he just creates a lot of hatred in a lot of people. This is somebody that you do not try and promote. It's sad that there is people like this, and it's sad that lives in this world, but that's just a reality. And people like him should not be content creators. No matter how hard you work, if you are going to be mean, constantly mean to a lot of people, target people, make drama just so you can get views and like hurt people's feelings, and essentially just try and like ruin. He tried. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I watch Pokimane stuff, right? And him attacking Pokimane about having a boyfriend and be like, oh, that's Ron. There's still a side where you're a content creator and you're a YouTube content creator or a Twitch streamer. You can have privacy. And he doesn't respect that. Keemstar doesn't respect that. Keemstar has a bad light. I understand his content. Sometimes he's covers stuff that's actually legit. But he does start stuff. Keemstar does start stuff, and I don't like that about him, you know? That's why I don't like watching news, because those people just start stuff. You know why? Because I feel like they just try to grab attention. And that's something that sucks. Like, Leafy is, though, the best example of what we don't want as content creators, what we don't want in this world, because it's bad for other people and it's bad to promote that hatred. Like, there is a bad side to this, and I'm glad he's banned permanently. And Slasher did a really good. If anybody wants, I think Slash is probably the best right now at giving out news. Slash has been probably one of the best people to actually give out good news, and actually has done a decent job. Even if he's pretty much a newscaster, and he's been giving out really good sources and really good actual information. And he's kind of been more neutral, and I like that about him. You want to stay neutral as a person that's giving out news. You don't want to be like Keemstar, who Keemstar kind of like, he will try to be neutral, but then he just goes to one side because he'll know what gives him more views, and that's kind of like a fake idea. He knows what will get him the views, and so that's what he does. I don't like those kind of content creators, and that's what Leafy did. Leafy was a content creator that was like, oh yeah, this will give me views and this will give me money, so I'm gonna be a dick to this person. Everybody likes me being a dick to that person. Don't be that kind of content creator. I'm just giving a shout out. I'm just saying this to a lot of people. Don't be that kind of person. But yeah, this is a ban that was needed, and we should not support. Like, Keemstar was even like, oh, unban Leafy. Keemstar, do you not see what Leafy is? Like, that was a thing. Keemstar, I don't know why Keemstar is trying to promote that. Don't unban Leafy. Leafy is a really shitty an individual that needs help. He's not shitty. I bet he has a good personality, but he needs help. in a lot of ways. I think he needs mental help. He needs somebody to check in on him and like actually have a counselor talk to him, because you can't threaten people for fun. You can't create drama with people for fun. You can't target somebody because they're making a lot more money to try and ruin and like get them, try and ruin their fan base and try and ruin their financial status because you didn't like that. That's something you don't do, right? That's just my take on this, and I'm glad the ban happened. You know, Twitch did a good job, and this is like the one time I think Twitch actually is solid. And I left Twitch because I didn't like a lot of stuff they did. This is probably like the best thing I've seen from Twitch in a long time, right? This is a great move. So, good job on Twitch. That's pretty much all I have to say. And this is the first time we're doing like a news outlet, but more so we'll be a little more organized and we'll have a lot more going on in the near future. You guys can give me all your opinions on everything that's going on and with this news. And like, if you are a League legend, I'm gonna get better with League. I swear I will. I'm still really new to it, but I have my teams and understand a little bit. And it was kind of just more of an update of what I feel and what I feel the teams will win. So that was kind of just more on me. And yeah, so leave a bunch of comments. Talk to me about what you feel, how you feel about the Leafy stuff or the banning, and I'll see you guys in the next one, in the next gaming news podcast, or we'll definitely talk about a lot more things. There'll be more of us. There'll be probably like 4, maybe 5 of us. And yeah, leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Make sure you guys get more notifications when Ashen TV comes out more content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.